Welcome to PharmaPulse, the new podcast by Reuters Events, where we're going to be discussing all the latest trends by the pharma industry. My name is Maria, and I'm going to be your host for the day, and I'm here with Andrew Benz, Head of Innovation at AstraZeneca. Before we get into the heart of our conversation, which is going to be customer engagement, Andrew, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and your role?
Yeah, so I'm Head of Digital Innovation within AstraZeneca, which is basically working across all of our brand teams to ensure that we really engage with our customers in a very contextual, empathetic and impactful way.
Okay, awesome, Andrew. Thank you. Right, so now let's get into the heart of the conversation. I have some questions for you. The first one is, what are some of the biggest challenges that you are facing around customer engagement?
So I think one of the major challenges is almost this fear of being seen as influencing or persuading HCPs. There's a real barrier to people creating content that actually influences people's decisions. So I hear a lot from some of my medical colleagues around the fact that they feel that the job of AstraZeneca is to educate and inform rather than to persuade. Now, whilst I completely understand that we're not in a selling environment, that we still need to create content that differentiates AstraZeneca's content from, say, GSK's content. And I think that's really important that we overcome that barrier.
Okay, thank you. Okay, second question. Breaking down the barriers between medical and commercial has been quite the topic around this time. How do you see the industry actioning this and putting it into play? What needs to happen?
So I agree with you. I think it's a real self-inflicted problem that pharma companies are creating for themselves. I think if you start thinking of the customer at the heart of your strategy rather than your own objectives, it very quickly becomes clear that medical and commercial and market access should all be part of an integrated customer experience. If you're putting the doctor first rather than medical strategy or commercial strategy first, then it becomes very obvious that in fact they should be more integrated. Now, of course, medical's got different objectives, commercial's got different objectives, but if our ultimate objective is to ensure that the doctor gets the relevant information in a very contextual way, then whether it's medical or commercial content shouldn't really make any difference.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Now moving on to our next question. What role does data play in a personalized customer journey, and do we invest enough in the data analytics side of the business?
So I hate the word data in a way because it's this word that is just thrown around. I see the deep understanding that we can get in pharma for every single one of our healthcare professionals, whether you call it insights, analytics, data, segmentation, personas, I don't really care what you call it. The fact of the matter is that we're so lucky in the pharma sector compared to non-pharma about the level of information we can get on our customers. How we then use that is woefully underused in pharma. So if you imagine how, say, Amazon engages with you or Netflix engages with you in giving you content that's different to the content I get, that's all based on their understanding of you as a human being. So I think we can really start taking advantage of all the amazing data we have in prescribing behaviour, in location, in their propensity to engage with our digital content, and that'll allow us then to start developing very explicit personalised content to them.
Yeah, that's a really good answer, and it touches about omnichannel, which is my next question. So omnichannel seems to be quite contentious at the moment. Do you see it as more of a buzzword or an integral part of the business?
Omnichannel is a word I banned in AstraZeneca UK, and the fact that we banned it was met with absolute joy from just about every single person I've ever spoken to about it. The problem with omnichannel is it's become a word, it's become a technical solutions framework, it's become a box ticking exercise. The idea of omnichannel around creating a wonderful personalised experience is fantastic. But if all you're going to do is treat it as a linear journey that looks fantastic on a slide, but in reality is never delivered on, which is what happens in pharma, then I think it's an irrelevant word. What I'd far rather focus on is switching the word omnichannel into customer engagement, because that gets your mindset into thinking, forget channel, it's all around the content and how do I create content that I can deliver to the customer at the right time.
That's wonderful. So what would you say, what is a last takeaway that you would give our audience in terms of how to accomplish customer engagement in the right way?
So I would say the sector of marketing and customer engagement is the greatest field to work in. We get to work on creative, exciting, impactful campaigns. So we should enjoy our jobs, we should love engaging with our HCPs, we shouldn't be fearful. They need our content and they're desperate for the content to be delivered to them in an engaging way. And I think that's the number one lesson is, let's do away with these boring 100 slide decks that no one's going to read and take compliance 6 months to sign off. Let's do away with VAEs that are just landing in people's inboxes. Let's really start thinking, if I was a doctor, what would I want? And I think if we can have that empathy, we'll start delivering great work.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew, and that's our wrap for today. Thank you for joining us and thank you for the insights. Please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast and let us know what you would like to hear next. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn at Reuters Events Pharma, or you can find us on the website at reutersevent.com/pharma. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to having you next time. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you very much.
Views expressed in this podcast are those of individuals being interviewed and do not reflect any company, parent company, or affiliates they represent. Find out more on this topic at Reuters Events Pharma 2024, April 16th to the 18th in Barcelona, where we will align purpose, unlock innovation, and unleash healthcare's potential by uniting the greatest minds from across commercial, marketing, medical affairs, patient engagement, market access, real-world evidence, and digital health. For more information, please visit reutersevents.com/pharma/pharma-Europe.